We're on. Good evening, everybody. We're going to call the council meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 18th Village Council meeting. It's Thursday, 6:30 p.m. So would everyone please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Wow, Bradford in person. Okay, Diane, please let the record show that all members of council are present.
Yes, Mayor. I will.
And I guess at this time, we're going to take reports. Why don't we start with you, Jay?
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Just a couple of things. I and my colleagues attended a Palm Beach County League of Cities meeting not too long ago, and Joe Abruzzo, clerk of the Circuit Court and comptroller for Palm Beach County, was there. One of the things he talked about was a service to all residents, and that is the property fraud alert. It's a free service to help you protect your property from fraud by monitoring the documents being recorded in the office records of the clerk. You can register it for free. You'll receive a notice by email or telephone whenever a document is recorded in Palm Beach County using your name or business name. And the website is propertyfraudalert.com.
Diane, is there something, some announcement sheet or something we could put on Vector? Whatever we can do to get that word out, because that is a valuable service, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very good.
And then one other one, in the state of Florida, and I guess it's happening in other places, but I know it's happening in Palm Beach County. So Comcast is the parent company to Xfinity, and Xfinity has a program called Internet Essentials, and you can get Internet Essentials and one Xfinity Mobile Unlimited line with 5G together for only $24.95 a month when you qualify for the Affordable Connectivity Program. And this allows our families who are either qualified for a Pell Grant, National Lunch Program, SNAP, Medicaid, Housing Assistance, or other programs. And it's internetessentials.com. And internet is $9.95 for our families who are struggling.
Cool.
So
Is that a permanent program, or is it
I
a
think it is.
timeline on it?
I think they're running it for the long haul.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And they didn't pay you to say this.
They did not.
Let everybody know that. We're looking at that as a public service announcement of sorts.
Exactly.
Thank you.
PSA at its best. There you go.
That it?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Jeff?
Good evening, everyone. So Jan and I both attended the Florida League of Cities annual conference last week, along with 800 other city officials. And, of course, one of the primary themes of the conference was the 100th anniversary of the Florida League of Cities. But Palm Beach County was well represented. There were 80 elected officials from Palm Beach County in attendance. And, of course, a lot of the discussion was about the history of Florida League of Cities. And it talked about, there was a lot of talk about how well represented Palm Beach County has been over the years. And, of course, as many of you know, we had a president of the Florida League of Cities, Carmela Storace, and unfortunately I never got a chance to meet her, but she was president of the Florida League of Cities from 2003 to 2004. And this year's president is Jolene Carabello. She is the vice mayor from Port St. Lucie, and each president, of course, has its own theme, his or her own theme, and this year's theme is common grounds. Now, you think about it initially, it's the idea of actually seeking common ground, and as you may know, we're often in battle over home rule with the state legislatures trying to reduce the amount of authority that we have at local levels. And the spirit of this is to be more collaborative, less adversarial, and working closer with legislators. But the spin on this is Ms. Carabello is actually Cuban descent. She happens to love coffee. So,
Oh, no.
yeah, under
Oh,
the,
no,
under
we're
the
going
sign,
there?
there's a coffee bean, and if you understand the little trick of that. It is kind of a double thing. So if you want to have a collaborative relationship over a cup of coffee, is not a bad idea, and especially if you happen to be Cuban by descent. So that was fun. It was good. There's no lesser attempts on our part to push back on any preemption of home rule, which I'm sure will continue to come forward. There were a number of good breakout sessions that I'm sure Jan went to. One that I went to is Florida Growth. Cities, are you ready? And the panel was made up of some interesting people. One is the mayor of Coral Springs, who happens to also be a developer. Now, how's that for an
How'd he do
interesting
that? Wow.
right?
Don't get any ideas.
And yeah, I should have been careful about bringing that up. But he did provide some interesting advice. None of it really too surprising. He talked about expedited permitting, updating comp plans to be forward-looking, and to make sure that we understand that that development, effective economic development, actually follows transportation. So there was a lot of push in that direction. He also did mention in passing that if we incentivize developers to do the right thing, there's a surprise. The executive director of Miami-Dade, MPO, was there. She shared an idea that I thought was pretty interesting. We talk a lot about TOD, transit-oriented development. She has a take on it from the Miami area, and that is TOC, which is transit-oriented community. Yeah. And the notion is that having affordable housing in an area that doesn't have transportation is only part of the solution. So you can help lower rent with affordable housing notionally, but if you wind up increasing the cost of transportation to get to school and work, you have an incomplete solution. Anyway, some really, really good ideas, and that's usually what you get in addition to the great conversations in the hallway. The Florida League of City Policy Committees preparing for the next legislative session will begin next month. Jan and I both are on policy committees. I was asked to be the chairman of the Transportation Intergovernmental Relations Committee, and we're going to be taking up issues like affordable housing, along with transportation, good combination, and of course transportation funding and mobility are going to be part of that discussion as well.
All very important topics.
Indeed, and they all kind of play together. They really do. The last thing I wanted to comment on was Feeding South Florida. As I know the council staff knows, that our Wednesdays of Feeding South Florida food distribution over at Commons Park is going to come to an end next month. The first and third Wednesday of September will be the last two times that we will be distributing the food from Feeding South Florida. We've been doing this for about 2.5 years. The staff with a bunch of volunteers and some really, really good planning. I mean, we've gotten quite good at doing the food distribution. And it's, looking back, it's over 3 million pounds of food that's been distributed to over 80,000 families. Some of these folks wind up coming as early as 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So there's obviously a need for the food. It's unfortunate, though, that the federal funding, which supported this food distribution that allowed Feeding South Florida to provide us with a semi-tractor trailer load every first and third Wednesday, has dried up. And so now they're focusing more locally with their food distribution, and they won't be able to continue the service here in Royal Palm Beach. However, they did provide a link to some 300 nonprofit partner agencies in the four-county area. So one of the things that we might be able to do is post that online and maybe make a point of sharing that with those who go through the line for the very last time on the third Wednesday of the month.
Maybe we could do a handout.
A handout would be great to provide that information. So what I want to say in closing, though, is I want to thank Lou and Mike and Brandon and Rich and the great Parks and Rec staff who did a fantastic job of setting up and actually participating in distribution and then tearing it down. You know, most of us were there through the first two parts. The tearing down part is kind of like whenever you have an event, right? Sticking around for closing out is something that doesn't happen. They did a great job. They really did. And I know just by looking at the faces in the cars, people appreciated it. So.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring that up, and I'm glad you did. It's some good things can't continue to go on, and as they indicated to us, the funding mechanism that was in place has dried up for this capability, for this offering. I am very thankful to Ray and all of his staff. Lou, and you too. You've been out there almost every week. I mean,
been a great
Good
experience.
move. I mean, we wanted the village. We wanted when this whole COVID thing started. We wanted to know what could we do, and I think it was Lou got us in touch with this organization. And our commitment to them was this. Our commitment was as long as you've got food to distribute, you've got a place to do it and the support here in the village. And we stuck to our commitment for that, and as long as they had the food available to do it, we did it. So who knows what lies ahead, but it was something that was really a good thing for many, many people. And do try to coordinate, make sure we get some kind of handout to tell people, we hand out to them. Because those are the people who are going to be saying, well, what am I going to do now, kind of? I don't know. But that would be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
that concludes my report.
Richard?
The only thing I would do is remind everyone we have an election on the 23rd of next week. Even though it's a primary election and a lot of the races are for people with political parties, there are multiple races, particularly judicial ones, that everyone gets to vote in, whether or not. So even though it says primary, that doesn't mean you have to have a party, and I would encourage everyone to go out and vote if they haven't done it, early voting or by mail. And I think tomorrow night, 6:30, the high school kicks off its football season.
Really? Oh, okay.
And
Who are they playing, you know?
I believe it's West Boca.
Okay.
Can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's West Boca. And then,
We got a new coach this year, don't we?
yeah, got a new coach, so hopefully things will get better. We'll see. And then finally, if anyone likes local college football, FAU is playing the 27th next week. I think Charlotte at 7 o'clock down in Boca. So
Great.
Okay.
that's
That
all
time
I
of
got.
year.
Yep. Let's go football.
Good evening, everyone. Also, tomorrow night we have a concert in the park. So it starts at 5 o'clock. I'm sorry. And Crazy Fingers is playing, and they are a Grateful Dead tribute band.
Oh, boy.
Yes. So it'll be fun out there.
Deadheads are going to show up.
Yes. They travel well. they're like Cardinals fans. They're everywhere. And Packer
You
fans.
didn't hear that? That Cardinal fans?
Yeah,
travel
they
well?
do.
Yeah.
They do. They
Yeah,
have the money
okay.
to spend. It's the Midwest.
Okay.
And Packer fans. Also, as Councilman Valentes said, we do have a primary election on Tuesday, the 23rd, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So there isn't school in public schools are out because they are also voting locations or polling locations. And then please double check your card because they did change.
Yes,
Yes.
it's a good point. They
Yeah.
changed precincts on you. So,
Exactly. So you don't want to go to the old one because they'll send you to the new one. There is a business matchmaker conference coming up. I never know where to put that. But that is geared towards small minority and women-owned businesses, and they pair them up with helping them get bids throughout the county. And if you go to pbmatchmaker.com, all the information is on there. Congratulations again to the Royal Palm Beach Girls Youth Softball Team. So they made the
Yes.
cover of the magazine. I know that's a Lou question. I think he's trying to coordinate that.
yeah, we got to get them in here, dude. You know,
To come in
congratulate
and do
them.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
So some of them are repeats. So good for them. Actually, Councilwoman Radusky and I just had the opportunity. Now we can see with the lightning. So thank you very much to our district chief of the area and the fire department, Station 29 and 28, for letting us go up there. So thank you, Captain Hodges and Driver Longley, for taking us up 100 feet in the air. It goes up 8 stories, the ladder, and it is the tallest ladder in Palm Beach County.
So, did you guys actually get up on the ladder?
We
and
did.
go up?
Helmets.
Are there pictures?
Safety,
I
everything.
expect there'd be some pictures.
There
right?
are.
I
For a
wasn't able to
fee.
make it. I wanted to make it, but my schedule didn't permit it. But
For a fee, I'll hook you up.
for a fee, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then lastly, they're doing conversation with the deputy. So on August 25th over at the Panera and Costco from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So it's a great way to go out there and meet our District 9 police. And
That's
that
great. I like that.
And that
Good.
completes my report.
All right. Great.
Just want to add to the Feeding South Florida. That was a significant effort. As the mayor said, in the beginning of COVID, where we were looking for ways what we can do with our facilities, what services that we could provide, and that opportunity made itself available to us. And like the mayor said, we said as long as the food is available, we're going to be doing that. And our park staff took out every Wednesday morning from their routine of maintenance and the things they're responsible for, and they did it for 2.5 years, and they never complained. I mean, I only got compliments from the people they were working with Feeding South Florida and some of the other providers that they love coming to Royal Palm Beach and working with us. So that is a real tribute to our staff and the attitude they took for the 2.5 years doing that.
I think it was a great, great community effort. It really was, because to pull together volunteers with the Parks and Rec crew, and like you just said, their attitude was just positive throughout, no matter what we were faced with, and their ability to respond was amazing, because we never knew for sure what we were going to get,
Well,
what
yeah.
it would take to get it set up and running, and
Yeah.
and they did an amazing job. But the attitude was so overwhelmingly positive across the board. It really was. It's a great tribute to a
Very
great
proud
crew,
of
and I've
that.
said that to Lou a number of times. So thank you for all of that, and it was a great thing to be able to do in the midst of all that shutdown.
Right. Worked out very well. I'm very, very proud of the staff and how they dealt with that and gave out those 3 million. What did I hear? 3 million pounds of food.
Yeah, over 3 million pounds. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you to the staff. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Where's the staff? Oh, that's right. I know.
No hands up.
No. Keith, what you got?
Thank you, Mayor. On the topic of things to be proud of, I wanted to recognize Mitty. She has successfully completed the application and examination process, and the Florida Bar has now recognized her as an expert and specialist in city, county, and local government law. So,
You're in the right place at the right time. So well deserved, and
Congratulations.
thank you.
We
Thank
already
you.
knew she was
Yeah.
an expert, though.
Yeah, well,
We knew that.
but now the world
Now
knows
it's
it.
official.
It's been, yeah, certified, right? No, very good job. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's not go there. No, let's not go there.
Selena's in a making money mood.
All right. I hope that completes our report. You done? Yes, sir. Okay. All right. At this time, does anyone here want to present a petition to the council? Now would be the time. Seeing none, I'm closing the floor to petitions for this evening. Are there any, we have any advanced statements from the public on non-agenda items or items on the consent agenda?
No, Mayor.
Do we have anyone who wants to raise their hand in that regard to comment on a non-agenda item?
I do have one person, Danielle Underwood, that has her hand raised. I will unmute her microphone, and if she unmutes herself, she can speak now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Danielle Underwood. I think you guys might remember me from the last time I came and spoke about the intersection of Sevilla and Ponce de Leon. I never heard back from anybody on that street. School is now in session, and we have a huge mess on our hands ever since the village went and closed the park over by the canal, which I'm sure you guys have your reasons, and it's probably safety and everything. I get it. But since you've closed that, everybody has come over to Sevilla and Ponce de Leon, and they are parking from stop sign to stop sign, both sides of the
Stop sign.
road. An ambulance, a fire truck, nor myself or anybody else can get in and out of that street. I am getting cursed out daily. I am getting almost head-on collisions daily, 20 times in the morning and in the afternoon. I have to get my child to school. I have to get my child to sports. I have places to be. And yet residents that don't live on that street are parking on both sides of the road, taking up the roadway, obstructing the roadway. I have contacted code enforcement, and they told me there's nothing they can do about it. I've looked up the statute, and there is something they can do about it. The road is being obstructed. I've contacted PBSO. PBSO tells me they don't have the funds to send anybody out there to monitor the situation. So nobody can go out there and ticket them for the 25, 30 minutes that this is happening. I'm telling you, it's going to be a tragedy. A kid is going to get hurt, and the village is going to hear about it. Can we please, please, please have somebody come out there in the morning, or all of you? I mean, Jeff is our representative. He was out at the park when you guys blocked off the park. Why can't you be out on Sevilla? I mean, I'm just saying, like, why can't we have somebody come out there and see the mess that we're dealing with daily?
Okay, can you make sure you give us your name and address for the record, please?
I'm going to give my name. I'm not going to give my address because I'm protected under the Leo because my husband's prior law enforcement. So I do live on Valencia.
fine. Don't. Okay. Yeah, we wanted to make sure we had it for the record. Right.
Well, they do have it. I've emailed you
All
guys
right.
all my information.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Let us talk for a minute. You said you shared with us your concerns, but you're right. You were here once before, and you were saying that things are going to get worse. And it sounds like now that school started, it's gotten worse. So you were correct in that regard, I guess.
Yes.
Is this related to the H.L. Johnson, or is this something different? Right.
Yes, this is absolutely 100% related to H.L. Johnson.
You want to
And,
give us
you know,
some
the first
commentary
2
on that?
weeks of school is always our worst around the schools. There's new parents, there's new students, there's teachers who don't know which child goes to what parent, so it always takes longer to get the children in the right car. And the process right now is going very slowly. When that's happening, the parents don't want to get in the line, the drop-off or the pickup line, because they have to get to work in the morning and they don't have all afternoon to go through the line. And the line right now is taking anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes to get through, which pushes everybody into the neighborhood. They'll park in the neighborhoods, walk their kids in, they'll drop their kids off in the surrounding neighborhoods. The park site on the north side of Royal Palm Beach was an absolutely horrible solution for people to try to pull into and pull out of. The goal is to get the drop-off and the pickup line as efficient as possible, and it will get better. And we will work with the school to maximize that efficiency. And the schools all over do different things. I mean, if you go down to Western Academy, they have 3 rows of cars that are coming in. They are doing 30 cars at a time, drop off and pick up, and they get the parents in and out. This school right now is doing 10 cars at a time, and it's not moving that quickly right now because of the new parents, the new students, new teachers, and getting familiar. Once they know the cars, know the kids, it'll go a lot quicker, and then we will work with the school to maximize the efficiency of those kids getting in those cars and those parents being able to drive freely out without resistance. So we will do that.
Will that alleviate the pain and problem that we're having that's been described to us for that block, that neighborhood?
Well, because what's happened is the first block of Ponce de Leon, we have no parking signs on. So if they do park there, the police are out there. We do have significant police resources out there this past week and a half. We will continue to have the police out there. That is not a funding shortage that keeps them from being out there.
That's not true.
They are out there. They're taking good notes on what's going on. They're observing, and they will be part of working with us and working with the school to come up with the most efficient way to get those kids dropped off and picked up.
Can we ask Captain Knox to put a focus on this until this gets alleviated?
Oh, we can ask him. We don't have to because he is very
I know
focused
that, but
on
I'm saying
it.
that-
He and the village engineer
I'm not
have been
saying he's
talking
not.
about it daily.
But we really,
And-
it's
and-
an important, it is an issue, and
Yes,
I
yes.
agree with the resident that we don't want to be looking back after the fact if something bad happens.
Oh.
Okay? So if we
would
something
like
we
to
can
see
do
that.
now to try to alleviate the situation,
It-
that's what we need to try to do. So
The goal is to get that
Yeah.
parent drop off and pick up as efficient as possible, get those parents in and out of there as quick as
Okay.
possible and as safely as possible.
Okay.
And it will get better.
we have any other hands raised?
Well, Danielle's up. Well, she still has her hand up. I don't know if she just hasn't taken it down. She was the only one
That was the only one?
that has
Okay.
her hand up, yes.
I don't have any comment cards submitted to me from anyone who's here on items not on the agenda or the consent agenda, but if anyone here would like to comment on a non-agenda item or a consent agenda item, now would be the opportunity to do that. Everybody shaking their head no. Not me. No, not me. Right. Okay. With that, then I'm going to close public comment on non-agenda items and the consent agenda, and I'll ask Diane to present the consent agenda to us.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Number 1, approval of the minutes of the council regular meeting of June 16th, 2022, council regular meeting of July 7th, 2022, council budget workshop meeting of July 7th, 2022, and council special meeting of July
You only
14th,
try to help. I know
2022.
that. I know.
2, approval and authorization for the village manager to execute the first addendum to provision of services agreement between the Village of Royal Palm Beach and Haverland AG Innovations Incorporated, between the Village and Haverland AG Innovations Incorporated to provide for the first one-year renewal term beginning October 1st, 2022 and ending October 1st, 2023. 3, approval and authorization for the village manager to execute the first addendum to food and beverage services agreement between the village and Seeds Cafe, LLC, to provide for the first one-year renewal term beginning October 1st, 2022 and ending October 1st, 2023. 4, approval and authorization for the village manager to execute the second addendum to the food and beverages services with Eats and Teas Holding LLC to provide an additional 500 square foot staging area on the first floor of the Commons Park Sporting Center for an additional rental fee of $300 per month commencing August 1st, 2022 and continuing through the term of the current agreement. 5, approval and authorization for the village manager to execute the first addendum to agreement for ice cream vendor services, Veterans Park, between the village and Cool Runnings LLC to revise the start date of the agreement and monthly lease payments from July 1st, 2022 to October 1st, 2022. 6, approval and authorization for the village manager to enter into a renewal contract with Collie Doctor Plus and a renewal contract with Cigna Healthcare to provide health, dental, and vision, New York Life for life disability insurance, and Horizon Health for EAP for the employees of the Village of Royal Palm Beach. 7, approval and authorization to request Royal Palm Beach FL.gov domain name from .gov registrar and to adopt www.royalpalmbeachfl.gov as Village's official website address. 8, approval of a special event permit for Pet Supplies Plus to hold a Love Your Pets event at 11051 Southern Boulevard, Suite 160 within the Southern Palms Crossing. The event will take place on Saturday, August 20th, 2022 from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. 9, approval of a bid award and authorization for the village manager to enter into contract with Epicurean Park LLC, doing business as Next Era Services, the lowest responsible bidder, in the amount of $408,765.41 for roadway grounds maintenance service on State Road 7, State Road 80, Royal Palm Beach Boulevard North, and alternate bid item Belvedere Road.
Okay, thank you. Are there any comments from members on council on anything on the consent agenda? If there are none, I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show consent agenda was approved 5-0. Now we'll go excuse me, to the regular agenda. Regular agenda R1 is a public hearing to consider application number 22-7. An application by RP Logistics LLC in adoption of resolution 22-18 confirming the council's action. The applicant is seeking final plat approval to replat 4 parcels of land totaling approximately 7.9 acres into 1 parcel for property located at 1131, 1141, 1151, and 1161 North State Road 7. Now, this item was postponed to a time certain for this council meeting, August 18th, on July 4th. So with that, Bradley?
Great.
Bradley?
Thank you, sir.
Bradley's the general, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the proposal is for an application for a final plat approval for a 7.9 acre site to replat 4 vacant parcels into 1 parcel of land located at 1131, 1141, 1151, and 1161 North State Road 7, situated within the Aldi Park PID. The site is located within the Industrial Limited Zoning District. The request is associated with a site plan approval and architectural approval in order to construct a 128,500 square foot office warehouse, combination building, and associated parking landscaping. The plat conforms to the plating requirements of section 2224, and plat meets all dimensional requirements for the Industrial Limited Zoning District, and staff is recommending approval of this application. And with that being said, Mayor, I'll turn the floor back over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bradford. I want to find out was there any public comments submitted on this item. Were there any advance comments?
No, Mayor?
Ray, does anyone have their hand raised?
No, Mayor.
Yeah, right. I don't have any public comment cards submitted to me for this agenda item. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on this item? Seeing none, I'm closing public comments then on agenda item R1 and look for comments from members on council. If there are none, I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve regular agenda item 1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that agenda item R1 was approved 5-0. Agenda item R2 is a public hearing to consider a variance application, 21-81, an application by Glenn Weldon and Associates. The applicant is requesting a variance for section 20-60 to allow for a 198 square foot wall sign where village code allows a maximum of 90 square feet and a 14.94 square foot cabinet sign where village code prohibits cabinet signs in excess of 10 square feet for a property located at 390 South State Road 7. This is a quasi-judicial process, so will you please swear in the appropriate?
Thank you, sir. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Yeah.
Glenn Weldon.
Can you raise your right hand for me? And Bradford, I'll swear you in at the same time. Bradford? Sorry. Do you both swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. I do.
Thank you. And I'll turn back to the council and ask if there are any ex parte disclosures on this item.
Staff.
Village manager, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I also would like to mention that this item was individually on the July 14th agenda and was requested by the applicant for postponement to this time certain, which is tonight. All right?
Great. Thank you. As you stated, the applicant is requesting a variance from the village's sign code for a city mattress located on the southeast quadrant of State Road 7 and Pioneer Road. The applicant is requesting a variance from section 2060 to allow for a 198.33 square foot wall sign where village code allows a maximum of 90 square feet for the subject building frontage. Section 2064, which regulates sign permitted in the general commercial zoning district,
Somebody playing with the
states
lights?
that the allowable front wall sign area for each building shall not exceed 1 square foot per linear foot of frontage length of the building. As the building frontage is 90 feet, the maximum sign area is 90 feet. A variance is also requested to allow for a 14.94 square foot cabinet sign where village code prohibits cabinet signs in excess of 10 square feet. The applicant asserts that City Mattress has the same basic facade area as the other inline tenants, yet is penalized with significantly smaller wall-mounted identity due to the restrictions imposed by the current sign code, coupled with the 1,818-foot quarter-mile setback from State Road 7, and is obscured by landscaping and outparcel building for most of the viewable frontage, and the sign is virtually invisible to the traveling public. Village Code Section 2632F6 allows for the Village Council to grant variances when special conditions and circumstances exist, which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, do not result from the actions of the applicant, will confer on the applicant any special privilege. A literal interpretation of the provisions of this division would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties. That the variance granted is a minimum variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, will be in harmony with the general intent, purpose of the division, and will not be injurious to the area involved. Based on the information provided, village staff does not support the 2 variance requests as granted of the request would confer special privileges denied to other businesses in similar circumstances. No special conditions and circumstances are applicable to the subject property, and the request is needed due to actions of the applicant in desiring a larger sign area than allowed. Given the applicable regulations, a sign proportional to the tenant space could be accommodated on the building frontage without the granting of the variance request. Is it also important to note that the distance from State Road 7 is approximately 500 feet? The Planning and Zoning Commission considered this application on June 14th and recommended denial by a vote of 4-0. And staff is recommending denial of this application. And with that being said, Mayor, I'll turn the floor back over to you.
You said denial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think the applicant wants to make a presentation, right?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
My name is Glenn Weldon, president of Glenn Weldon Associates. And first of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to come back again tonight with my proper presentation. I hope I'll be brief, and I hope I'll be persuasive. So
When ready, show my screen. Okay. Let's see if we can get this started.
Is that up? Is it up
Here
there?
we go. Okay. I'm not seeing it on my screen.
He's not seeing
You
it
see it?
on your own?
No, I'm not seeing it on mine. Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. So, thank you very much. So, City Mattress decided to come into the village last year. And City Mattress is a company that's been in business for over 50 years, started by Jay Schiller back in 1964 in Buffalo, New York. I thought that was important because it was just one guy with a vision who took over a mattress refurbishing business. I never knew that you refurbished mattresses, but apparently back then you did. Became the first mattress-only retailer. Jay is no longer with us, but his sons have taken over the business, and it's a great family-run company. And you can see here in this presentation that they have over 20 stores in both New York, upstate area, and both in Florida as well. And you can see their iconic image almost anywhere in the Florida area. So the reason why we asked for a variance is not because we wanted a bigger sign. We originally went to staff back in May of last year to start a discussion with this. And we realized that the city code, village code, considers square footage based on a rectangle that encompasses every area of the sign. As you can see here, City Mattress has a national registered logo. Their letter style, the City Mattress letter style in this square, this red square here, is all part of their national registered trademark. So when we look down here below, and you can see my little cursor moving around, City Mattress has the same basic facade area as both Michael's and a little bit smaller than TJ Maxx. But based on the 90 square foot, you can see the City Mattress gets a very small diminished sign based on the code. Now the code is the code. So this is what we originally presented to staff for consideration for what we wanted to do. And you can see down here, this is how the village determines the code. So we have all this dead space around here. The TJ Maxx sign is 5'3" tall, the TJ and Maxx. The Michael's sign is 5'6", and to conform with code, that would make the City Mattress sign only 2'10" tall. So what we asked staff was, could we consider a variance to the code where we could encompass the main area of the square footage of the sign and not the descender on the Y? The descender of the Y is what throws everything off. So if we encompassed just this area here, you could see that we get a larger sign, obviously, but our letters are 4'3" tall, and City Mattress felt very strongly that given that provision, or given that consideration for the variance, that they would have an image that would be presentable to the public, that would be in line with TJ Maxx and Michael's, which are the two main tenants in this center. So that's what we originally intended. And by doing that, we went from 90 square foot to 148 square foot. So we thought that our request was reasonable. Lots of discussions with staff going back and forth on how to present the variance. Staff asked us to revise our variance to encompass the larger sign that we wanted, but to also include all the dead space. So in the presentation tonight, you heard that we're requesting a sign that's almost 200 square foot, which is almost, well, it's more than double what the city or the village normally allows. But that wasn't our intent. Our intent was to work out in this compromise situation here. As you can see from here, I don't know whether, I'm sure a lot of you know where this center is located. It's on 441, State Road 7, and it's set quite far back from the roadway. It's not 1,800 feet back, it's 567 feet back. And after the first presentation that was given, I had to actually go out on site and remeasure it myself. So I fault myself for that. You can see that this City Mattress, along with Michael's and TJ Maxx, is in a very large area. Home Depot is right over here in this area. lots of large retailers along this State Road 7 corridor. And I believe that the village annexed this back a few years ago. So congratulations on that. These photographs here basically show where City Mattress is located. And the lush landscaping along State Road 7 literally does not allow for anybody to see City Mattress at all. You can see here, it's kind of hard to see. If I can maybe increase this in size. There it is way back there. So we did a photo study to talk to staff about what it is that we wanted to do. And you can see in this presentation, sorry, fast fingers, you can see how far back truly the shopping center is, especially those major retailers.
What street is this on? This is on State Road 7?
Yes, sir. Yeah, State Road 7. It's south of Southern Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7.
Pioneer Road.
Also inside the center, there are some freestanding or some smaller restaurant stores. I swear I'm telling the truth.
I'm back.
But here, for instance, Bolay, it's very interesting. It's a very good restaurant. I don't know whether anyone's ever been there before. But a lot of the comments that staff had about cabinet signs and cabinet signs aren't allowed exist in the same center for Bolay. And we thought it was kind of curious that we could not find anything on public record that showed that they applied for variances for cabinets. But when we did a measurement of it, we found that the Bolay sign itself is channel letters on a background that has a mosaic on it. So it's almost like extra advertising. We're not saying that to fault city staff. We're just saying that these conditions exist in the very same shopping center. And you can see here again, there's this Michael's, and you can see that they have a large presence on their facade. And they have a large presence because they have 128 linear feet of frontage, so about 128 square foot of signage. But you can see here, Michael's is really blocky. So Michael's doesn't, I don't want to say they don't benefit, but the visual space here, by putting a rectangle around the sign, doesn't really hurt them at all because they don't have that descending character like City Mattress does. And of course, TJ Maxx is very linear in itself, and you can see how that works out well. So for City Mattress, they feel that although they have the same basic facade area, that because of the code, and we're not arguing that the code is bad, we're just saying that this is the reason why we're requesting a variance, so we can be in alignment with these two other major tenants.
I just want to get something clear. Now, you're saying those two other stores have more frontage than you do?
Slightly more. Michael's has, let me go back to this real quick, sorry.
1 foot what? Oh.
City Mattress has 90 feet of frontage.
We have a leak? Wow, go figure.
City Mattress has 90 feet of frontage. Michael's has 106 feet of frontage. So they only have 16 more feet than City Mattress. But you can see the difference between the size.
Can you, I'm sorry, if you can, where you had the signs itself, because I believe in Bradford's presentation, it was showing that it was, one was 46 feet and the other one was 46 feet. Is the space the length of the sign? So I see where you have that top part where you're showing
Yes.
the outside part, but the
Yep.
sign where the signage is completely, I think there's only a 1 foot difference. Is that correct, Bradford? Sorry, that's
No,
okay.
you're fine.
Yeah, if you blow that up, is it 45 feet? You
Let's
can
go
see
down
is
here. Sure.
right. Is City Mattress, and then 46 feet you can see is Michael's.
Yeah, Michael's has the same 46-foot front that City Mattress has. TJ Maxx, the 800-pound gorilla in the shopping center, has 186 linear foot of frontage and a 54-foot front. So this is our comparison table. TJ Maxx really big, Michael's really, really big. City Mattress not so big.
So by
So
definition, it's going to make the sign smaller because you have smaller space.
and you can see here in the City Mattress configuration that this is what code This is how we dictate or how we determine square footage. It's a continuous rectangle around all areas. So because City Mattress, it's a national registered trademark, they're not going to extend, they're not going to make their Y any smaller. They're not going to change their letter style, and they're not going to change the size of their logo. This is how this works. So, so our variance is for, obviously, the larger sign to be compatible with the other two major tenants. And because their logo is bigger than what code allows for a cabinet sign, using air quotes, that was part of the variance as well. So the logo is not a cabinet per se. I don't know if any of you ever had a retail business before where you had to get a sign, and even back in the heydays when Lion Country Safari was at the end of the world. This plaza, this area here was your last stop before you were out in the Everglades. And back then, they had cabinet signs, and they were great big turquoise signs, and they had white letters on them. This isn't a cabinet per se. It's the same channel letter construction as the City Mattress. It just happens to be their logo.
You want to comment on some of his comments, or you're good? Okay. Are you complete?
I'm just about complete,
Okay.
yes. So one of the things that staff brought up at the last meeting was that City Mattress put up a sign. And they put up a sign based on what it was that they wanted to get the variance for. And so what I wanted to do is, if you allow me to hand these out, can I do that?
Give it to the clerk.
Thank you. Okay. I give up. Okay.
My mentor in the sign business, Charlie Katz, said never start off a presentation with an apology. So I'm leaving the apology for last. This is a copy of the permit for the sign for City Mattress. The permit was applied for to the village for the 90 square foot sign, the original one that we showed you. The City Mattress opened in October of last year. They wanted to be open for, obviously, the holiday season. And so the sign company, Integrated Image, manufactured two signs. They manufactured the 90 square foot, then they manufactured the larger one that you see in the screen tonight. They hired a company to do the install, and they applied for the permit, and they went out and they installed the bigger set. So just because the bigger set is up doesn't mean you have to prove it, but I wanted to make sure that it was an important comment to address, and in full transparency, Integrated Image was scratching their head after I left. I went back, I said, what did you guys do? Why'd you put up that sign? They're like, oh my God. So anyway, that's where I am, and that's the end of my presentation. I appreciate your patience, a little nervous tonight, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Did I ask for public comment yet? I didn't. On this agenda item? Diane, do we have anyone who commented prior to the meeting?
No comments.
Ray, do we have anyone with their hands raised?
No, Mayor.
You mean nobody from Michael's or TJ Maxx is on the line? Okay.
May I ask first?
Sure, go ahead.
Sorry, I just have a quick question. What you handed out, is this showing that it was two signs that were ordered, or just one sign ordered?
No, they actually ordered two signs. They
Right.
They didn't think the variance was going to take that long, and they manufactured two sets and shipped two sets. The bigger set got installed. Obviously, it was a mistake.
Oops.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, but what I'm asking is, it's looking like it's the same size sign on both sheets of paper, so that's why I'm asking, is this proof that there were two signs ordered, or is this just showing the
No.
sign that was ordered?
Yeah, this was the permit that was applied for the 90 square foot sign.
I see what you're
Okay.
saying.
So their intent was to apply for the sign at 90 square foot, put that sign up first, and hope and pray that the variance went through. Like I said, we started in May of last year, and here we are in August. So
Okay.
the
But
process is the process.
Just, no, that's all right. Just so I,
Yep.
clarification on my part is that this is not showing that two different signs were ordered. It's just in the front part that the letter says that there were two signs ordered.
Yes.
But the backup here is just showing one sign.
Right. That
Okay.
that backup is actually copies of the village permit.
These are our documents. Copies of our.
Right.
Yeah, I was looking at the same thing. I know what you're saying. Okay, I do not have any comment cards on this agenda item, but is anyone here who would like to comment on this agenda item? Or two? If there are none, I'm closing public comment on this agenda item. Sir, I'm glad that you addressed that issue because I was wondering, gee, how did you wind up with the biggest sign?
It's a little, we got some egg on our face.
I'm going to open up for comments from members on council, but I just want to put my thoughts on this. Can we get the sign, a picture that shows all three of the stores?
Yes.
Because for the life of me, when I look at the three of them, they all look like they're pretty much the same size. I don't know if that's a visual effect or because of the way their letters are written. But I didn't look, when I looked at it, I didn't see like, wow, look at this sign, how much bigger it is than the other signs. It looked like it was pretty much the same. So I don't know if any of you had that experience, but I'm open for comments from members of the council.
I was like you, Mayor. I thought they looked pretty much equal, the fonts. Not obviously different fonts, but similar size.
However, the city mattress sign is not in compliance, right?
Correct. It's not compliant.
Yeah, it's not compliant.
Right.
So, yeah, it looks the same to me. If that's a question on the table, roughly image-wise and that kind of thing. I suppose that removing, I heard you say, if I understood you correctly, that taking away the red rectangle is not acceptable to City Mattress because that's part of, it is their logo along with the City Mattress in the letters shown the way they are, right?
Correct.
Is that a national logo?
It is, sir. Let me just go back here real quick. Oh, there we go. Person sleeping. You can see here in this presentation that it is a integral part of their brand.
Can I ask a question? There's one here in, I don't know where it is, but it's stacked instead of long. And so you've got a stacked city on top of mattress.
Yes.
Oh, I see it. Where's that?
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
I don't know where that is, but I'm pretty sure the reason why they stacked it was because they could get a bigger sign. Because if they did it in a single line, you can see the storefront's not very long here. So by stacking it, they had extra linear frontage. But you can see most of these, in fact, all of them except for that one, Good Eye, are all linear.
Would stacking it help or hurt, Bradford?
I would venture to guess that it would be more square footage because if it was centered in the box.
Yeah, the white.
Yeah, it would be even bigger. We tried several different scenarios.
Okay.
Sorry.
I personally can see the difference between the sign, between the City Mattress sign and the Michaels and the TJ Maxx, because you can look at the distance, the spacing between there's the 45-foot perimeter that you have on yours, and you can see that it looks very small on the blank space on either side of it compared to Michaels and TJ Maxx. My question is, and I'm sorry, Bradford, I didn't ask this in advance so you could have it, but maybe you could show us with the cursor on the image. I don't know if you can show it because the gentleman's sharing his screen, but where would it cut off if it were to code? Does that make sense?
Here, I'll show you that.
Like,
I think he had that in his
Yeah.
presentation.
Did you? Okay.
Yes, this is the meaning of the code, City Mattress.
Okay, wait, stop. So stop moving the.
Sorry.
Okay, don't move. All right, so that is meeting code,
Yes.
the top part. Okay, and then when you.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
It not only meets code, it meets the intent of the code also. The intent of the code is not to be read from State Road 7. The intent of the code is to be read from the shopping center parking lot. The tenant sign, which we allow up to 5 people on a 240 square foot tenant sign that's over by the road, that's the sign that
To be read
people
from
driving down the road are to see and see the City Mattress name. On the building, it is our intent for them to be able to see it from the parking lot, which either the smaller one can be seen from the parking lot.
This is, what are we looking at now? The
That's
smaller
it.
one?
That's
That would be
compliant.
code.
That's the code?
compliant. Yep.
It doesn't look much different from the other one.
So
Well, look at the distance on the sides, Fred. As
No,
Selena
I
pointed
see,
out, that's
there is
the,
more, but
can you back out so that we can see it in
Yes.
comparison with the
you
other?
know,
Yes.
let's all go to State Road 7 and take a look.
Not that far out.
Seeing it from State Road 7 is not the intent of the code, though.
No.
Okay, so this is compliant now. 3 stores next to one another with a compliant City Mattress sign, right?
That would be a good
Right.
look to see that.
That is
Do we
correct.
have that?
That is correct.
That's what we're looking at now on the bottom here?
Yes, that's what compliant would be.
There you go.
I still think the other signs look bigger. And the other signs, Bradford, are compliant.
Yes, sir. And I would go on to contend that the Michaels sign has the same amount of dead space that the applicant is using as justification for the sign variance.
Okay. Well,
So
I would
There's-
disagree with that, but
there's,
why would you
There's
on what basis would you disagree?
well, if we look at Michael's has a capital M, lowercase h, lowercase l, and it's all linear. So by putting a dotted line around that, by encompassing all the dead space, Michael's ends up with a very large sign, where City Mattress, if we look at City Mattress has all this dead space, and the only thing that makes the sign so small is the fact that we have to count that Y. And I can't change the Y. I can't cut off the Y. I can't make the City Mattress letters bigger. Just like Michael's can't make theirs all upper and lower case, City Mattress doesn't do theirs as well. So the code is the code. We're not arguing against the code. We're just saying that staff is saying that there's no reasonable need for us to have a variance. We're saying that we do because of this circumstance here, and because we want to be in alignment with the percentage of size that the other 2 tenants have. And you can see here, City Mattress has 90 linear feet, Michael's has 106 linear feet, and TJ Maxx has 186 linear feet. 5'3" tall letter, 5'6", and City Mattress has a 2'10" letter.
Why is that, Bradford?
Why is what?
Why are their letters taller than the City Mattress?
Because it's longer.
Because it's
Because it's longer. Has
City
more letters.
Mattress?
Has more letters. It's longer.
It is just simply that.
so you get
It's math.
penalized for too many letters. No.
Well, but also then the buildings next to it that you're comparing it to are larger buildings. So that's why Michaels and TJ Maxx are in code, because they have larger front space,
Right.
frontage space.
And if you went out there and you had all of the tenants lined up and you said, raise your hand if you would want signage that is consistent with Michaels and TJ Maxx, every single one would raise their hand. But they don't get those signs because they don't have the link.
But they also don't have 90 linear foot of frontage either. So that's the thing. The rest of the tenants are all single tenants. They have 20-foot bays. So, it's a 20 square foot sign for all those. And we're not contending that. We're not arguing that. We're just saying that on the shopping center, these are the 3 big anchor tenants. And like we said, the code is the code. That's why we're here for a variance, to ask for
Okay. Jan, you got a comment?
consideration. No, I was going to say the same thing as you, and it's the font size, right? So our code is basically the whole sign. So it doesn't matter. I mean, you get penalized if you have more letters in your name.
You do, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Council, where are you guys at? Where you at on this, Jan?
I'm not yet there, but I'm still thinking about the stacking. Like, could you make the smaller sign stacked, and would it be better?
No, I think the 2 options that we should focus on is
I know.
what they're asking for and what we're asking for.
I know.
But I hear what you're saying, though.
I'm inclined to go with the proper size.
With the
code.
With the code. Okay. How about you, Jeff?
So when I look at the entire sign, which includes the logo, I think that's one of the advantages of the sign in compliance, that can kind of offset the fact that more letters and a Y is a disadvantage. That recognizable red rectangle, in my mind, offsets that. The other thing I would comment on is that we spent a lot of money and a long time trying to put together a code that we thought, sign code that we thought made sense. And in part, it was to find a way through all of these nuances.
Sure. Well, I understand that. And for the most part, you know, I've been before this, I've been before the city quite a few times, the village. So, and I understand how that works, but this is City Mattress. They have more letters. They have a logo. And so to me, it's a special circumstance. And I don't know how many variances come before you on a monthly basis. I would imagine very, very few.
You want to comment on that?
No.
Oh.
You're wrong.
Oh, okay.
Not at this magnitude, but.
Okay, all right. So, you know, variances are special things, and we understand that. So we're asking, we feel that we're making a compelling argument for a size of letters. You know, it's City Mattress, that's their name. It just can't say city, can't say mattress. And if we take the City Mattress and remove the logo, it's like, I don't want to say it's like McDonald's without the arches, but everyone knows what McDonald's would look like without the arches.
You shouldn't modify your logo. That's I don't think that's the. So you are pro ordinance?
Fine, looking for them to be compliant with.
Compliance, okay, to compliant.
I guess I have a Bradford question. For the City Mattress, does every single letter that is in the sign have to be the exact, I guess for a better lack of term, font size?
We do not have a code requirement that requires them to have everything proportional.
Okay.
So you can.
So what I heard from the applicant then is the problem that this doesn't meet code is because we picked a logo that has a Y that dips down, correct? Is that if that Y is not dipping down, you said you can comply with the code, right?
Yeah, we would end up with a larger letter.
Okay. So why wouldn't you, because we've seen that you do alter this is not the be-all and end-all of your logo because you've stacked it in other places. Why not, I guess, make the city smaller and then your Y doesn't drop down so it's all on a line. So maybe smaller city, mattress the way it is, it complies with the code, you don't need a variance. What's the problem with that?
It doesn't comply with their national branding. So their national
doesn't
branding.
what?
It doesn't comply with their national branding.
Okay, why?
Because their
'Cause you-
national branding is the linear format.
No, it's not, because we saw two examples where you had it not that way.
You probably shouldn't have shown those examples.
Yeah.
but-
No,
I
that's
mean-
okay. Listen, that-
So if you're
it's-
saying you could do it in other places, but you can't do it in Royal Palm, that kind of undercuts your whole, well, this is national branding, we got to do it the whole way all the time.
I would be
argument.
happy to take the lettering that we're asking for and to stack it, but by stacking the lettering,
No,
we
I'm
end up-
saying move up the Y so it's all City Mattress straight, the city is smaller. And if that's such a problem, then, I mean, my thought would be just, okay, comply with the code.
Okay.
First of all, I'll tell you from a marketing perspective, I completely understand your argument and what you're talking about. My concern is, first of all, the variance, but mostly you're using Michaels and TJ Maxx as comparisons, saying that their sign's bigger, yet they had bigger space, and that's why they fit in. The other part is the J and the X in TJ Maxx drop down also. So they have the same issue as you do with the Y. So I don't think you can use the comparison as their sign's bigger, so we need a bigger sign, but their storefront is bigger, which is why they have a bigger sign, and you're just in a smaller space. I would tell you is, you know, I've gone into your store, I've been able to find it prior to the sign being up, so, and we did spend quite a bit of time and money and staff effort putting the code together, so that's, I'm for denial.
Okay. I think you see where this is heading, and I appreciate the fact that you did make a compelling argument, but at the end of the day, you know, giving these kind of variances is something that we really try not to do.
Understood.
You know why? Because
Understood,
if you get
yeah.
a variance to one situation, people line up, and what's the point of us having a code if you're not going to follow it? That's what I always hear from my manager.
Sure.
But I think where we are is I'm going to ask for a motion on this.
Mr. Mayor, if I could make one comment, because
Please
I
go.
hear the way
Okay.
this is heading. If I could just remind the council that Bradford had on the screen the 7 variance criteria that you're to be evaluating this application against. Should there be a motion for denial, I would request that as part of your motion, you specify which criteria you do not think the applicant has met.
Okay. Who's going to make a motion? The motion maker has to do that?
The maker of the motion, yes, sir.
If you give me a moment, I'll bring up the criteria and you can pick.
Okay. Interesting. Nothing in compliance is not sufficient.
No, she's certified. So
Yeah. So there's a number 3 there, just to give you.
For clarification, Mitty, so you're asking that we say,
So we have to pick one of these as a basis.
make a motion for denial because of, and then you're saying, Bradford, it's number 3?
I would think, if
Is
I
that
was.
correct?
So the way with variances, you have the 7 criteria. So a motion to approve would be presupposed on the fact that the applicant has met his burden and he has satisfied each of those 7 criteria. If there's a motion to deny, that would be, you would be presuming that the applicant has not met his burden, and you need to identify which specific criteria has not been.
Okay, and then you're
met.
comfortable with, if we read number 3 that's up on the screen?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
sufficient. Just so it's clear to the applicant and for the record which criteria has not been satisfied.
Okay. Who wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to deny regular agenda item 2, but my thoughts are both number 3 and 4.
Yes, to state them.
Nope, that's fine. That's sufficient. 3 and 4, and I can read them into the record. 3 is that the applicant, the granting of the variance requested will not confer on the applicant any special privilege. 4 is a literal interpretation of the provisions of the division would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Okay, so Diane, show that the motion was to deny 5-0. We thank you for your presentation.
Thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it, and thank
My
you for your
question,
comments.
Bradford and Ray, what happens now? Is there a timeline for them to become compliant?
I will get tomorrow. I will get with the building department and we will work on that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a
Okay.
great evening.
Agenda item R3 is a public hearing for the second reading and adoption of application number 22-19 and ordinance number 1028, an application by Urban Design Studios regarding a comprehensive plan text amendment to the village's comprehensive plan to create an entirely new mixed-use social center, future land use designation within the future land use element. This is not quasi-judicial, so, okay.
Great.
Remember, this is the second reading. Go ahead, Brad.
Yes, sir. I will be brief, and I'm going to touch upon a change that has been made from the first reading to the second reading. As you stated, the applicant is proposing an amendment to the village's comprehensive plan's future land use element to add an entirely new mixed-use social center land use designation. The intent of the amendment is to create a future land use designation that allows for innovative and urban mixed-use developments that provide integrated, vibrant, compatible, and complementary uses within a single development. This future land use designation allows for greater intensities and densities that would otherwise be permissible in typical zoning allowances. Here are the floor area ratios that was presented at the first reading. The change that has been made is that the structured parking maximum FAR has increased from 5.9 to 6.5. So this will now read 6.5, and the maximum FAR will be 1.3. So I left these so that you saw what it was and then what it's going to. We just don't want to, the developer just doesn't want to find himself in a position where he can't provide more structured parking based on this code, this text.
Bradford, for clarification, is the expansion outward or upward?
Upward.
Okay, gotcha.
The footprints of the buildings haven't changed, and so it would be adding a floor or something of that nature. The Department of Economic Opportunity issued a letter of no comment on this proposed text amendment, and we didn't receive any, received some responses from the review agencies, but there was no comments. Planning and Zoning Commission considered this application on May 24th, 2022, and recommended approval by a vote of 3-1, with Commissioner Laura McClellan dissenting. Commissioner McClellan had made the first motion to allow for up to 14 units per acre from the requested 10 units per acre. Village Council considered ordinance 1028 on first reading on June 16th, 2022, and recommended approval by a vote of 4-1, with Councilwoman Samios dissenting. And I want to just make sure that the record is clear on that 4-1 vote. Staff is recommending approval of application 2219 and ordinance 1028 on second reading. I'll turn the floor back over to you, Mayor. Thank you.
Thanks, Bradford. Does the applicant choose to make any comments? Just come up and let us know that you were satisfied with the presentation.
Lindsay Jean-Louis with Urban Design Studio, Bradford, cover all items and satisfied our
Thank you.
presentation. Thank you.
Let's try to get these things on the record, you see. Yeah, okay. All right. Excuse me. Have we had any advanced comments from the public, Diane?
No, Mayor.
Do we have anyone with their hand raised?
He's thinking about
The
dinner.
rain just.
No, Mayor.
He's thinking about the leak. Okay. I do not have any comment cards submitted to me by the public for this agenda item R3. Is anyone here, though, would like to comment? Now would be the time. Seeing none, I'm closing the floor to public comment on agenda item R3 and look for further comments from council. If there are no further comments, I'll look for a motion.
Make a motion to approve regular agenda item number 3.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, we have, Diane, let the record show that the second reading was also approved by a 4-1 vote. Thank you. Okay, so that's done. Our next agenda item is agenda item 4. A regular agenda item 4 is an approval and authorization for the village manager to enter into a contract with Artemis Investments LLC for the purchase of the east half of the approximately 0.4882 acre parcel, east parcel of the village-owned property located on 6846 Seminole Palms Drive. Is this the split the baby?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Bradford, are you going to
Yeah.
present? Okay.
I'll present it. This came to council some time ago on whether to sell this as this surplus property. This is the vacant lot on Seminole Palms Drive across from the playground area there. The council voted to sell it to both adjacent property owners and split it in half, and that's what we have done. And we have an agreement from both the school and the AMG business, which is item number 5, to purchase the west half. The sale does have certain time limits for deposits and getting to closing, and it does have a reverter in there in the event that we don't meet those. And we did make an allowance for extensions if needed. And staff recommends approval of sale of this property.
Have we worked out all of the questions about how this property is going to be used?
On item number 4, yes, it's item number 4. That east half is going to be used as additional parking for the school that is there.
Okay.
Item number 5
Different story?
is a different story.
Okay. I guess we should wait till we get to item 5 to go into that. Does the applicant choose to make any comments?
Good evening, Andrea Kaiser with Kaiser Legal on behalf of Artemis Investments LLC, 55 Southeast 2nd Avenue, Delray Beach, Florida, 33444. Just want to add that it's also a requirement that within 18 months that we seek our zoning approval. So we'll be doing a comp plan amendment as well as a rezoning, a special exception, and any kind of architectural and aesthetic approval just to incorporate the piece into the parcel. But other than that, we have no further comments, and we're here for any questions that you might have. Thank you.
I know you, right? We were at another meeting at one point some time back. You were Kaiser.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Yes. And I'm also, if you notice, I don't have twins anymore.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Congratulations. Okay. Diane, do we have any comments from the public prior to the meeting?
No, Mayor.
Ray, we have any hands raised?
No, Mayor.
I have not received any public comment cards on this agenda item R4. If anyone here would like to speak, now would be the time. Seeing none, I'm closing public comment on agenda item R4, open for comments from members of council. If there are none, I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve regular agenda item R4.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, let the record show that half of the property was approved by a 5-0 vote. Thank you. Okay. The next agenda item is an approval, agenda item R5, approval and authorization for the village manager to enter a contract with AMG Business Enterprises, LLC, for the purchase of the west half of the property of approximately .4882 acre parcel, west parcel, of village-owned property located at 6846 Seminole Palms Drive. Ray, you're on.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the other half of that same piece of property that council directed us to sell to this adjacent property owner. Their original intent is to use this for outdoor storage. That does create a little bit of a problem going forward with the land use and the zoning change, because most the automotive and watercraft repair businesses, we require that they all their storage be placed inside at night. We have not figured out how to deal with that. We did advise the purchaser that staff would be recommending denial if their intent is to use this property for outdoor storage. They still want to move forward with buying this piece of property. Since council agreed to sell it to them, some other things have changed on that piece of property. They were successful in acquiring the other half of that building, so they own the entire building, and now they control all the land that's associated with that building because it was a condo, and they had 49% before the purchase of that other half. So they control all that building and all the land around that building, and that was originally developed as kind of the back of the commercial shopping center that fronted on State Road 80. Since it was originally constructed, we've built Seminole Palms Drive, and this gives them actually road frontage that they've never had and the ability to even put a sign up there. So we had that conversation with their attorney and them, and how that would probably be a much easier site plan and land use and zoning or it would more be a site plan. We'd put that condition on the site plan, so it'd be that use for it would be much easier for staff to recommend approval of. But like I said, we had that conversation. They want to move forward with purchasing it, and they understand what they have to do.
Okay. Does someone here representing the applicant?
Good evening, everyone. Al Phillips with AP Law, 11358 Okeechobee Boulevard here in Royal Palm Beach. Thank you for your opportunity to address you all this evening. And then, as Mr. Liggins stated, we did have the opportunity to have a conversation with the village. We understand the criteria that has been set before us. We already have an architect on board. We're ready to move forward. We thank Ms. Bernard as well for all her time that she spent with us. So we believe that we can meet the criteria that has been set forth and the intended use for the property, understanding and that we're not going to create some type of storage of condemned and abandoned vehicles. We definitely understand the intent, and we're finding a way to make sure we're within the codes and the policies for the village of Royal Palm Beach. So we thank you for this opportunity, and we're ready to move forward. Thank you.
So are we saying you're in agreement with the context of how we think, what we won't let you do there?
We
we'll make sure you're clear on that.
We're very clear on what is not allowed.
Okay.
So we're ready to move
on the record.
forward.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we're on the record. We won't be asking for a variance. I just heard that as well in reference to no, we're very clear. Like I said, we do appreciate We do appreciate everyone
Okay.
conversating with us before getting to this point. So
Okay,
we're
well,
very
good.
clear on what we can do. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Diane, do we have any advanced comments on
No
the agenda
comments,
item
Mayor.
R4? Ray, does anyone have their hand raised?
No, Mayor.
Okay. And I have not received any comment cards on this agenda item R4, but if anyone here would like to speak, now would be the time. Seeing none, I'm going to close the floor to agenda item R5. That's not, I said R4. Agenda item R5. And open for comments from members on council. If there are no comments, I'll look for a motion.
Just, I was going to state is, and I appreciate that you understand what you're doing, and I know what the mayor had just asked you. When I read this, my concern is we've had that where businesses will come in. Yes, we understand. No, we're not going to need a variance. And we actually have instances where people will come back, or then we get hate mail where, well, look, they set us up for failure. So I just want to make sure that, I just wanted to state that it is, it's easy to say yes, no problem right now. And then when you go through the process, lo and behold, a year later comes back too. So that was my concern about this, but thank you for reassuring us about that. Thank you.
Any other comments?
With that, I'll make a motion then to approve regular agenda item number 5.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that agenda item R5 for the west side of the property was approved 5-0. Good luck. Good luck to both of you. I'm glad we were able to get this worked out, and hopefully we can look at this as a win-win-win. Okay? Thank you. Agenda item R6 is a public hearing for the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 1030, amending Chapter 26, zoning, at Chapter 11-.5, flood plan management, Section 11.5-2, applicability, to update and clarify the firm maps, dates, and language at Section 11.5-20, definitions to add a definition. I like that sentence. Definitions, period. Okay, sorry. To add a definition for the term accessory structure. Remove definitions regarding existing, expanded, and new manufactured home parks, and revise the definition of market value at Section 11.-30. Buildings and structures. To allow accessory structures in flood hazard areas under certain circumstances at Section 11.5-33. Manufactured homes. To revise requirements for evaluating. I always mix that up. Elevating manufactured homes and provide cross-references to the Florida Building Code at Section 11.5-37. Amendments to the Florida Building Code. To remove local amendments regarding elevating requirements which have become part of the Florida Building Code at Section 11.5-1, general. To provide consistency edits. And where's the village engineer?
Can you hear me?
Did you write this?
Yeah.
I did. I'm sorry, sir.
She just commented before he was there.
Okay. Since you're certified, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. She got certified to create that.
Chris, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
As I stated in the last reading, this really helps us keep our existing 6 rating within the CRS program and allows us to protect the existing properties within the village.
Okay. Do we have any comment cards in advance for
No, Mayor.
agenda item R6? No? Ray, we have anyone with their hands raised who really waiting to talk about this? No? Okay. I have not received many comment cards from the public here, and if anyone here would like to speak, now would be the opportunity. Seeing none, I'm closing public comment on agenda item R6. Open for comments from members on council. This is the second reading. If there are no comments, I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve regular agenda item 6.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show agenda item R6 on the second reading was approved 5-0. That brings us to agenda item R7, which is an appointment of one alternate member to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a term ending March 2025. And that would be you, Jen?
Awesome. Yes, we have an applicant, Kara Kauser, with experience in government and member of the Florida Festival and Events Association, and is dedicated to the community. And so with that, I would like to make a motion to appoint Kara Krauser to the alternate number 2 seat with a term ending March 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that the recommendation for filling this position on the P&Z committee was approved, 5-0. And we have regular item number 8, which is also an appointment of 2 residents to the Education Advisory Board. Jeff?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we have one alternate who I am going to recommend be appointed to a regular seat, and then we have one new member to be appointed also to a regular seat. I would like to make a motion to appoint Nancy Panea to the regular seat with a term ending March 2024. And then I would also like to appoint, in the same motion, Megan Crosby to regular seat with term ending March 2023. And there's a third I failed to mention, and that is to appoint Alma Henry Morgan to a regular seat with a term ending March 2023 as well, all in one motion.
Okay. We have a second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that the recommendations for appointment to the Education Advisory Board were approved 5-0. So unless someone else has something else, I believe we have nothing else on the agenda, so we stand adjourned. Thank you all. When's our next meeting, Diane? Next meeting is when? Oh, it's the budget hearing. Okay.